Widdz here, and in today's video I want to show you guys one of the best, if not the best, burst SMG PvP builds in the Division 2. This was actually gonna be one of my first build videos that I wanted to do back in early January or February, because I actually thought it was pretty hilarious because I ran into somebody in Dark Zone and I just got beamed so quickly. And then after that I checked his build, right? And then I saw this build. Since somebody that plays video games or Division 2 pretty casually these days, it was just really interesting to be on the other side, to be like, oh, what build is he using? And anyway, that's this build right here, which is this Umbra build with Ouroboros. This one is fully red though. You can do this build different ways. I will show you the first one, which is just fully damaged, right, with full red. The other one will be blue. The fully red one, insane damage, but I would call this more of a highlight slash on the floor build because you will have a really rough time. But if you start shooting first, usually you can just beam them, but I wouldn't recommend this particular version because having more blues is just more beneficial in PvP. It's 4-piece Umbra. In case if you don't know Umbra, 2-piece 15% critical hit chance, 3-piece reload speed, and then the 4-piece is what it's all about. So when you sit in cover, you will gain stacks, and this will go up to 50 stacks, right? And each stack will give you 1% critical hit damage and 0.3% RPM. So you go into cover, stack it up, and then you go out of cover and you get the buff. While out of cover, you will lose 2 stacks per second at normal speed and 1 stack if you're sprinting. But also when you're out of cover and in combat, you will gain stacks as well. And that will give you 0.8% armor regen when it's consumed. So you stay in cover, you gain damage, like crit damage and RPM, right? You run out of cover, you will gain stacks for the armor regen, right? You get survivability and damage, and we all know that is the key for PvP builds in Division, right? That's what you want. Since this one gives you crit damage, it's gonna be crit focused, right? So aim for 60% critical hit chance, and then put the rest into critical hit damage. And the key with this build is actually the backpack talent, which is versatile. Works really well for SMGs, I would say, but for other guns it's rougher to use. But for SMG, you just have to be within 50 meters to trigger it, right? Also for shotguns as well. And it's 35% amplified damage, right? So insane amount of damage. But with this, you have to pay a bit of attention though. So make sure you have your secondary gun out. And just before you're gonna fight, you swap to the SMG and you just burst them. Most of the time, especially if you go some blues, it's just if you hit your shots, you will not lose the fight. Like the damage is just so crazy. And when I use this, I barely had any expertise. I think 0 expertise on my Ouroboros. And now when I have like 24, 25, there's just no way that will lose. The other guns are really hard to use this with though. As you can see on LMG and assault rifle, it's 15 to 25 meters, so that's a really niche range. The guy that did kill me using this though actually didn't use Picaro, which is also one of the uniques we're using, right, for the armor and where you get a red core for free instead of a minor attribute. But he used instead of Picaro, he used contractor's gloves, and then he played this with the LMG and SMG. Which kind of works, but I think the range is just so niche. So if you want to play this build, just focus on SMG and play it that way is what I would recommend. And yeah, Sokolov on the backpack, right, for the SMG damage. In terms of guns, Ouroboros is just the king, especially burst damage. So make sure you get Ouroboros, either from Paradise Lost. So the other guns don't really matter though, but I would definitely recommend using an Orbit, because if you can get it procced by either skills or finishing NPCs, that's 40 critical hit damage for 15 seconds. Sure, 35% critical hit chance as well, but you should already be close to the cap. I guess worth to note as well, if you're playing this with a few more blues, is you could swap Picaro and use Kafaris, because that will give you a decent amount of damage as well, right? And of course, survivability. It was a long time ago I played this one though, but that's something definitely you could argue to do. But with blues, but if you're running this blues, I would recommend 4 to 5 blues. And that works really well too. In terms of skills, decoy for Dark Zone, pulse, really good as well. You could opt for a defender drone if you're running with a decent amount of blues. And definitely run pulse in conflict is what I would do. Specialization, can do whatever you want. I would recommend firewall In terms of specialization, I would recommend Firewall, used for the armor kit over time, right? 200% armor and health. If you don't want to play Firewall, you can do Gunner. Then you have armor on kill 10%, faster reload, but you also have the 5% rate of fire on kill. But definitely I would recommend the Firewall for this one. But yeah, that is the Umbra build. Really fun build to play. I honestly enjoy this one a lot. It's just you swap between the guns, proc versatile, and you just go ham and you just don't lose. So let me know what you guys think about this build, or is there any better SMG burst builds in your opinion? Please let me know. And if you are interested in more Division 2 videos like this, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. I will catch you guys in my next stream on twitch.tv/widdz or in the next YouTube video.